Hello everyone, Victor Tanzik here, and welcome to the Reddit Railway. Today's destination is r/RelationshipAdvice, so all aboard! Me and my boyfriend have been together for 6 months, and it's been fun for the most part, but a major problem between us is he's very touchy about higher education. He constantly puts down the idea of going to college, claiming it's a waste of money and a scam. I point out it's necessary for things like medicine, but he says that's different. He basically said unless you want to be a doctor, you won't learn anything real in college. You can learn more by going out and doing hard work. He knows I'm a college graduate and that I worked hard to get where I am today, but he makes comments like, "Some people don't have the same opportunities and resources as you do." I went to a community college before going to university, which I paid for either out of my own pocket or through financial aid. I was working in retail part-time while going to school full-time. I have a career that I love and my life has been fantastic. He has a high school diploma and his job is working with mentally and physically handicapped people. He has been promoted several times, but always had to get certified for that. Right now, he would need a degree to get promoted again. I thought maybe he was projecting his resentment about that onto me and asked him if that was the case. He said no and that he's happy where he is at work. Another thing is he makes comments that I would run off and marry a doctor because they make more money. I've told him time and time again that I would never do that. He has a lot of insecurities. For example, if I don't text him back within a certain amount of time, he thinks the worst. 2 months into our relationship, he became paranoid that I had a vast sexual history because I went to college. He even thought there was a porn tape of me out there because, according to him, all college girls do that. I told him he was crazy. Even if I had slept with a lot of people, it has no bearing on my relationship with him. For the record, I've only been with 2 people while he's been with 8. Then there's what happened earlier today. He made a comment about wanting to get me pregnant so that a part of him would stay with me even if we broke up. I was like, I don't want kids. He reckons he's going to change my mind and that I'll feel differently if I get knocked up. Luckily, we had this conversation through text. I don't feel happy with him anymore. I guess this is a combination of venting and needing advice. We have a lot of mutual friends, so it's awkward to talk about this with them. The cons are outweighing the pros in this relationship. It's only been 6 months, and this type of stuff is surfacing. What would he be like in a year's time? What would be the best way to end this without any backlash? If it does get messy, what's the best way to handle it? Forget about the fallout, OP. Run the fuck away. There's no future with this guy. Leaving aside his insecurities, he has some warped perceptions about higher education that he's clearly resentful of. He's also a paranoid hypocrite. That alone should be a deal breaker, but the fact he wants to change your mind about having kids and his reason behind it is just deranged. This kind of behavior will only get worse the longer you stay with him. So once more, run. There is an update, so let's see if she did. I decided I was going to break up with him. I called and asked him to meet me at a local park. I had a close friend come with me just in case. He showed up and I broke the news to him. He didn't take it very well. He began ranting about how he knew I was cheating on him. He said I never loved him because I didn't rush into the relationship at the speed he wanted. Apparently moving in together at 3 months equals showing you love someone. I thought I would get emotional, but I stayed calm. I told him his erratic behavior and demanding attitude is what turned me off. The fact he didn't respect my wishes to not have kids was the breaking point for me. I said I wasn't a broodmare destined to be pregnant and barefoot in the kitchen. I gave him the things he had left in my house, wished him luck, and said goodbye. My friend and I left and she was surprised by his behavior. Among our mutual friends, he's the happy-go-lucky type of guy that everyone likes. I wasn't going to tell her what he was actually like because that would have been stooping to his level. I bought my friend takeout as a thanks and got home 2 hours later. It must have really sunk in for him that we were done because I started getting calls, texts and Facebook messages. He left several nasty voicemails. I texted back saying if he contacted me again, I would go to the police. I then blocked him. Everything was quiet until last night when I got a text from an unknown number. It was a picture of him getting a blowjob from an unknown female. I wish I could say I publicly embarrassed him by posting the picture or sending it to his mother, but I didn't. Aside from possibly being a crime, I didn't want to risk humiliating the woman since I don't think she knew he took the photo. Her eyes were closed. This morning I changed my number. I do have a security system in my house, including surveillance cameras over my front and back doors. If he tries anything, I'll get it on tape. Wow, this guy was real classy. Anyone else think he was the one who was actually cheating? Good on OP for dumping this mongrel. Let this serve as a lesson. Never stick your dick in crazy, and never let crazy stick its dick in you. About 5 years ago, I was living with my brother because I was in between leases. My brother's best friend was going through a really messy divorce, so his 15-year-old daughter came to stay with us. My brother is her godfather. I wasn't really close with my brother's friend, so I had no investment in the situation other than feeling bad for the kid. My brother started to get really overprotective of her while she was staying with us. This frustrated her because she found him overbearing. To alleviate some of that, I started to take her out to various places, all in perfect innocence, of course. She started to talk to me more about the things she was going through, things she hadn't told her parents or my brother. There was a lot of dark stuff, and she was extremely depressed. I suggested she attend therapy, but she said no. I didn't want to violate her confidence, and since I'm not her guardian in any way, I couldn't force her to do anything. Eventually, she went back to her parents after they sorted out custody. We still saw each other from time to time, and her mood was much better. We added each other on our socials and stayed in touch. Honestly, I really came to adore her in a strictly platonic, familial way. Fast forward a few years and she went off to college. While there, she got pretty depressed again. She was in a really tough engineering program and was being bullied by the other students. She cried to me about not having any close friends because everyone would always shut her out. This is where things get a little dicey. I had gotten a new place by that time, which wasn't very far away from her. She would sometimes come around on Friday nights and ask to stay with me. She hated the dorms because they always had parties she wasn't invited to. I would always say yes, but I want to stress, we never slept in the same room. She had her own. I didn't tell her parents about this since she wasn't a minor. A few weeks ago, she came over again. She told me a lot of worrying stuff, and then she kissed me. I pulled back immediately and firmly told her no. When I was done panicking, I told her I couldn't date her. She said we didn't need to date. I was like, if you want something else, you'll have to get it elsewhere. She then started sobbing and told me she had been sexually assaulted by a woman she had become friends with. She had been so eager to connect with someone that she ignored some red flags. She said she didn't know what to do with herself, that she doesn't know how to be a normal person. I was apparently the only one she's ever had a real connection with. She begged me not to tell anyone because she was ashamed. She was scared no one would believe her because there was no proof. I believe this did happen to her, and I feel awful about it. I want to support her, but I also feel like a really shitty man. Did I accidentally groom her? Looking back, I can see having regular private contact with her might have been inappropriate, but I never got any indication she saw me that way. I know I can't abandon her through this really difficult time, but if I'm going to be honest, I think I need to cut this relationship off because it wouldn't be healthy for either of us. Edit 1. I just wanted to add a few things about her mental state. She has a history of self-destructive behavior. Also, one of the reasons why she doesn't want therapy is her parents' divorce. I don't want to go into too much detail, but the main cause of it was she went through a very traumatic incident that was left untreated. Having said all that, some of you guys mentioned her reliance on me and her dismissing therapy as her way of holding me emotionally hostage. Stepping back, I can see that. There are many times I've had to cancel plans and even dates because she needs someone to talk to. I honestly don't think she's done it on purpose, just unintentionally. Edit 2. Yep, I get it. No more sleepovers. Edit 3. After thinking about this a lot, I've decided to step back from this relationship and hand off the heavy stuff to another adult, namely her mum. Aside from being a very level-headed person, she's also a nurse practitioner. If anyone can help her, it would be her. I don't know what's going to happen to my friendship with her. I just want her to be okay. Last edit. So she's blocked me on all her socials. I guess I don't have to worry about that. Can't say it doesn't hurt. I'm still going to send her an email officially stating my boundaries and that what happened wasn't okay. I'll also stress she needs professional help, and I hope she's able to get it. You know what they say, no good deed goes unpunished. OP is right to step away from this. Honestly, he shouldn't have stepped into it in the first place. If the girl had such serious mental issues, he should have encouraged her to see a therapist despite her objections. He also should have set up some boundaries the moment her behavior started affecting his life. At least he's doing that now, and I hope this girl is able to get the help she desperately needs. So best of luck to her and to OP. And with that, I'll end the video here. Like, share, and subscribe, and drop a comment down below. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.